Hello, everyone. Welcome to another award-winning edition of the Locker Room Chat. My name is John Williams. I'm joined by my co-host, Walter Stair. And Walter, thank you for being here once again. And it's hard to believe it's going into week 7.
That's hard to me. It is the fastest time of the year because I love football so much on the high school and college ranks that, I mean, it goes by just like greased lightning.
Yeah, it seems like when we started back in the summer, about mid-July, we were about 3 or 4 weeks away from the first game, and now we're already in week 7, and just flies by. You know, we talked about how that really goes by. So.
Oh yeah, I'm very glad to see Tennessee getting the win over Florida like they did, and I knew it would be tough and had a big lead towards the last, but Florida knocked it down a little bit. I don't care if we win by half of a point over Florida, just win.
Man, was you scared?
Yes.
I was about sick.
Yeah, I was quite scared. My wife and I were just sitting there going, this can't happen, and my son and his girlfriend, and it was just like, no, this can't happen again.
Right. I was telling my daughter, explaining to her what's going to happen. Well, they're going to go down here and score, they're going to get the onside kick, and they're going to throw a Hail Mary for a touchdown. We're going to lose, and I don't know what I'm going to do.
Oh, I don't know what I'd do. I'd probably break my hand again like I did back in 2015. But
it was crazy, but it's a big win for the Vols, no doubt. Any win, like you say, over the Gators is good, and just a great win. Put the Vols into the top 10, and with an open date this week, and LSU on the horizon.
Exactly, and one thing I looked up, and I've looked up as much as I could, and going way back in time, and I don't know what brought me to thinking about Tennessee and Kentucky, but I was looking at the fact it appears that they've not been in the top 10 at the same time since 1951.
Well, I'd say you're right. Yeah, 'cause Kentucky had some good teams there back in the 50s.
They certainly did. Of course, that was when Paul Bear Bryant was there. Mm-hmm. And they were, of course, Tennessee was number 1 in the country in 1951. I think Kentucky was the same as they are now, number 7 back at that time. And I cannot find any other time that they were both in the top 10 at the same time.
I remember the Kentucky Wildcats had a top 10 team. I think it was like 1976 or so.
77.
Had 77. They had Derek Ramsey, big quarterback.
Exactly.
Went on to play for New England. I think they made him a tight end in the pros. But
and who was the coach that was? He had them revved up. Sort of like Heifel was doing Tennessee. He was really went after to get a lot of points. I can't remember who that coach.
Hal Mumme.
Yeah.
Hal Mumme had Tim Couch.
Oh yes.
Throwing it all over the place. And, that Kentucky team in '77, they got put on probation.
Yeah.
I think they were 10-1, and it seemed like they got stripped. Title that year.
Those things happen, unfortunately.
But it's hard to believe that Tennessee, Kentucky's both in the top 10.
That just has me floored. I mean, we have 4 teams in the top 8 in the Southeastern Conference, and it just blows me away.
Some crazy, some upsets this weekend. What about Middle Tennessee beating Miami?
Oh, that's very true. A guy that I do a little bit of work for in Antiques downtown Clinton, he's from Miami, and he just pitched a fit when he found that out.
Right, and he also had Oklahoma losing to Kansas State, and some crazy games.
Some other close games. Texas losing, which I didn't think that they would. And I don't know, Texas is a bizarre team. You can't never tell what they're going to do next in whatever direction.
And Arkansas hitting the field goal kicker, hitting the top of the upright. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
No. And then Missouri, the guy goes in, he's supposed to have a touchdown, and he fumbles the ball, and they end up losing to Auburn. I'm just like, huh?
Yeah, I didn't see that play. I heard about it, but
Yeah.
what, did he just lose the ball? Or what
He just went in for the score and somehow lost the ball when he went in for the touchdown. I don't think anybody touched him. I think he just dropped the ball.
And then they also missed a field goal there, like a 26-yard field goal in regulation.
Exactly, 26 yards. To me, anybody that's a kicker, period, unless you've just got the worst blockers in history on the offense, you should never miss a 26-yard field goal.
That's two bad teams right there in Auburn and Missouri. Right?
Exactly.
The
I mean,
balls,
if I was a field goal kicker, I could kick a 26-yard field goal.
Jasper Young, he has it down there every Clinton home game. Kick a field goal. I think it's 25 yards. You win $1,000. Now you have to throw it into a barrel.
Well, now that Missouri guy wouldn't be able to make it.
Now it's pass for cash now, but yeah.
Lord.
I've seen a couple of players, or no, a couple of fans win that kicking that field goal.
That's good.
But the phone lines are open. You see that? Give us a call. Looks like Kingston has stood us up once again. Head coach Brian Pankey is supposed to be here tonight, bring in some players, and he did this. Well, they might be running behind, I guess. So.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe they're on their way.
So hopefully they'll show up here. So.
But they had a big win last Friday over Campbell County, 41-40, and now 5-1 of the year. And they had a lot of offense, 400 yards rush.
How many yards?
402 yards.
The other quarterback, Rylan Getner, had a huge game. I think 19 carries, over 200-something yards, I believe.
Exactly.
He was up for Player of the Week.
Well, I tell you, when you do that as a quarterback, and the fact you're going back and could get sacked for losses and still have 219 yards, or I guess that's about what you said, that's something else.
Mm-hmm. This week, the game of the week, the OEB Law game of the week here on Channel 12 will be Oak Ridge at Powell, and it's a battle for first place in Region 3, Class 5A, and I would say the winner of this game here will win the region.
I think you're exactly right, and I will guarantee you this, I'm more than likely to be picking Powell, so Oak Ridge will end up winning this because every time I pick Oak Ridge to win or to lose, they do the exact opposite.
Right, and Oak Ridge is healthy out here. Some of their players are back that missed some games earlier in the year. I think so they're going to be full strength against Powell. I think Powell as well. The quarterback, Jordan Potts, he's about 100%, I think. Had a big win over Halls. They rode the Red Devils 33-3 Friday, and
that was a good win for them, and the fact that Powell's getting their confidence back, and that against Oak Ridge, I think will be a super-duper game. And Halls is getting a little better now. They won their first game, I guess, the week before last, but they're on their way back up. But they've had a little bit of a disappointing year compared to what they were going to have. And another team I thought, getting off script a little bit, that is doing quite well and is blowing my mind is Bearden.
Bearden Bulldogs.
Exactly.
Yeah, we talked about that in the preseason.
Exactly.
Thought they would do better than the expectations of some of the prognosticators.
One of the prognosticators had them at 1-9. Can you believe that?
Right. They got a big win last week over Fulton, 43-19. So the Bulldogs are 4-2, and who they got this week? Well, they got
South Doyle.
Bradley Central. Bradley Central coming in to Bearden.
I must have been looking at the wrong schedule.
Undefeated Bradley Central Bears. So we had some history made last Friday night, Walter.
Oh, you're talking about the longest rivalry in Tennessee.
Well, it was that game, the Harriman and Rockwood game, and Chandler was telling me about it coming in. I hadn't heard about it, but apparently a Rockwood player, a Dryston Turner, returned an interception 109 yards.
Gosh.
to tie a state record. So that's right here's the video clip of it. So 109-yard interception return, Dryston
Look at
Turner.
that. Oh my goodness.
Sit back and enjoy this.
Goodness gracious. Now he is fast.
He's quite the athlete.
Oh yeah.
Took it all the way, but congratulations to that young man. Dryston Turner tied a state record set back in 1990. I think the player's name was Calvin Brand. Might have played for Fayette Ware.
Oh, okay.
That's about as far as you can return one.
Yeah. Goodness gracious.
Thank you, Chandler, for having that
Oh, yeah.
queued up for us here
Very
to
nice.
see that. I know Harriman, Rockwood, they put it on the Blue Devils, didn't they?
Oh yes, they knew how to move. It looked like, unfortunately, that the Blue Devils were moving in slow motion after that guy. Boy, he was moving.
So what else you think about that Tennessee game?
I just thought, I think Tennessee offensively is doing quite well. A lot of what has been advertised. I think the defense has holes in the secondary that are beyond belief, but I think that their overall effort is absolutely wonderful, and it is just a matter of continuing to plug the holes and get better players. And at least they've got fabulous desire to work at it on the defensive side of things, and which that's good. It looks like Kingston is on their way in. It's wonderful.
Kingston's
I had to see
made
this.
it to the studio, so we'll get back with them here at the end of this first break. But,
Oh, yeah.
Tennessee, though, total offense is leading the nation.
Yeah, offense is doing exceptionally well. The defense, I have to give them credit for just really hanging in there. And the safeties and the quarterbacks are having a lot of problems, but the front 6 or 7 are actually playing pretty good football, and the others are really trying hard.
All right, we're going to go ahead and take our first break, and we'll be back visit with the Kingston Yellow Jackets and head coach Brian Pankey. So stick around. You're watching the Locker Room Chat.
Football is back, and OAB Law is excited for a season full of big hits and those nail-biting near misses. If you've been injured, OAB Law will come to your defense. Call OAB Law and turn your wreck into a check.
I'm Amanda, one of the RN shift leaders at Rome Medical Center. I love the sense of community that we have here. It's unlike anything I've ever experienced, and that's why I choose Rome Medical Center.
I choose Rome Medical Center because this is where my heart is. My family and friends use Rome Medical Center, and I want everyone that comes through our doors to have an experience that makes them as proud of Rome Medical Center as I am.
Find out why Roan Medical Center is the best choice for your future in healthcare. Learn more at roanmedicalcenter.com.
There's a lot of talk about the risks associated with the COVID-19 vaccine, but the reality is it's safer than being tackled by a Tennessee Titan. Give it a shot. Find a free vaccine appointment today at covid19.tn.gov.
Earl Duff Pre-Owned Center in Harriman is East Tennessee's best choice for pre-owned vehicle sales and service. Earl Duff is a name you know and trust, and we have been meeting the automotive needs of Roane and surrounding counties for over 49 years. Shopping with us is easy, and we treat our customers like family. From sales to finance to service, we're your one-stop shop for everything automotive. Don't settle for less with your next pre-owned vehicle purchase. Come to Earl Duff Pre-Owned Center in Harriman or online at duffpreowned.com.
We treat you like family at RMG. Bring your junk, cars, aluminum cans. We buy it on the spot and we pay you a lot. We treat you like family at RMG. Yeah, we treat you like family at RMG. Rome Metals, we treat you like family.
Rome Metals is located just off of Highway 27 between Harriman and Rockwood.
a season full of big hits and those nail-biting near misses? If you've been injured, OEB Law will come to your defense. Call OEB Law and turn your wreck into a check.
Welcome back into the locker room chat. We're pleased to be joined by the head coach of the Kingston Yellow Jacket football team, Brian Pankey. And Coach Pankey, thank you for being here.
Thank you guys for having us.
Coach Pankey's brought in 3 of his players, Mason Martin, Javaris Gallagher, and Brody Weaver. Let's go ahead and take a look at these young men. Let them go ahead and, guys, if you would, just go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell everyone your name, what position you play, and what class you are.
I'm a senior. My name is Mason Martin. This is number 10. I play wide receiver, cornerback, running back, quarterback sometimes. I play all over the field.
My name is Javaris Gallagher. I play receiver and safety, senior, number 21.
My name is Brody Weaver. I play center, and I'm a senior, number 71.
Guys, thank you for being here. You had an exciting win the other night over Campbell County, 41-40. And Mason, if you would, just talk about that victory.
Yeah, it was a tough game, back and forth all game, and we just wanted more at the end. You know, Tayshawn, he had a block kick to really win the game, so it was really exciting, and I had a blast playing. Yeah.
So you blocked the kick. That was the deciding point there on the extra point.
Yes, sir.
Was that a seesaw game, sort of back and forth?
Yes, sir. Whole game till really that last possession. We got it, marched all the way down the field. Time ran out, just needed down, win the game.
Javaris, your thoughts on that win?
I thought, as Coach Mankey said, that was one of our first complete full games to show what we can really do on the field. And usually we get held back with penalties or just mental mistakes. But like I said, that was a good game the whole time. Really showed what we can do as a 5A school in Campbell County. And they have a good team, not really physical, but they got some talent.
Okay, get back here with Brody Weaver. And Brody, I know last year y'all lost to Campbell County, sort of put it on you pretty quick. Going into this game, you want a little payback, I guess.
Well, I mean, either way, it was our next game. I mean, being one of the most important games because it is our next game. Having practicing all week, going over plays, critiquing our plays, and we just went out there and played our hearts out.
Okay, Coach Pankey, what's your thoughts on that win last week? It was sounded like a thriller, 41-40, and
It was. You know, Campbell County, man, they got a great offense. Coach Price, both him and his brother, they do a great job. They're well coached. And their scheme is what gives you so many problems. You know, they throw a ton of screens and jailbreak screen, tunnel screens, pop screens. They do a great job, really precise in their route running. So it's a tough matchup for anybody, especially for us. We don't see that type of offense on our schedule. A lot of the guys in our region are more power teams. That's what we're used to. That's what we do. So anytime you got to face an offense like that, it's just tough. A lot of mental preparation during the week, and you know, we went up there last year and got steamrolled. I ain't gonna lie to you. They just get old-fashioned butt kicking. So I was kind of looking. I had this one circled. You know, I knew they had to come down to Dr. Nat Sugarman. You know, and we home field advantage, and I kind of thought we were going to be the more physical team, and our kids played their butts off, and you know, end up, you know, winning there in the end.
Sort of contrasting styles with your offense and Campbell County's offense.
Definitely is. You know, I think we had 58 rushes for over 400 yards rushing. And that's just what we do. That's how we're built, and that's how I want to play. We always try to be the more physical team. We preach physicality all the time. And usually teams like Campbell County, and not saying anything bad about what they do, but sometimes those spread teams are not as physical as run teams. And I thought that we had the advantage in the physicality part of it. So, and end up being that's what happened. We were just a more physical team.
Walter?
To take on a 5A team that is pretty darn good in the region they're in, that's got to help your program. That's a very good signature win.
It is. We play in a tough region. Of course, us and Sweetwater and Loudon and Signal McMinn, everybody in that region is pretty much having a great year. And this Campbell County game wasn't a region game, but it was a tough game for us. And I like those kind of games because I think it prepares you physically and mentally for all your opposition. So I just think we had a good game plan and ended up pulling it out.
Coach, you're 5-1, and your quarterback had a fabulous game, had over 200 yards rushing last Friday, and I guess, as you said, over 400 yards on rushing. That was one well of a game.
It was, like Brody talked about, we hadn't played a complete game, or I'm sorry, Javaris talked about, we hadn't played a complete game all year. And last Friday was probably, especially offensively, was the most complete game that we played all year. I mean, our offensive line, that's the best game they've played. Back in the early fall when we scrimmaged Clinton, at Clinton, it was us, Clinton, and Cofield. I knew after that scrimmage, because, Clinton's a good 5A team. And of course, everybody knows about Cofield, single A, powerhouse, real physical. But I thought up there in that scrimmage, I thought we held our own, and I thought we were the most physical team up there. So, it's tough, but again, us rushing the ball, us running the ball like that is what we do. And of course, Rylan Getner, our junior quarterback, had a phenomenal game. But a lot of that came from obviously him being the most athletic guy on the field. But I thought our offensive line really played their best game. So it was great on the quarterback, offensive line, receivers. Everybody had a complete game that night.
And your quarterback, Rylan Getner, right?
Yes, sir.
Was that his first start at quarterback?
It was not. He his first start at quarterback was actually the Rockwood game was his first start. But now he's been, him and Mason both have been playing quarterback pretty much all spring and all summer. But yeah, he had started against Rockwood.
He's a pretty good athlete, and I know last year you had him playing out wide receiver, I guess, or
he played some wing back for us. So yeah, he pretty much plays everywhere. Yeah,
offense, defense. Somebody's wanting me to ask you, Clinton fan. Clinton has a big game at Campbell County this week. Your thoughts on that game?
Well, I actually talked to Coach Shannon earlier in the week, and Clinton's got some dudes. They're very athletic. They got some guys on the outside that can run. They're big. They're fast. And like I told Coach Shannon, it's going to come down to the most physical team. And just from my experience playing, scrimmaging Clinton and playing Campbell County, I think for what Clinton does, and they got some big guys, man. I think they're going to be the most physical team, but that doesn't mean they're going to win. I think Campbell County does a lot of things that can give you some problems, and I think obviously whoever plays the best Friday night's going to win that game, but it should be a good one.
Right, it should be a good one. That's a rivalry Thursday game tomorrow night, 7 o'clock at Campbell County. Clinton at Campbell County's always a good game, right, Walter?
Oh, it certainly is. Over the years, they've had so many games that came down to a 2 or 1 point game, and particularly in recent years.
Especially since the Price twins came on board there about a decade ago. So.
They do a good job.
Mm-hmm. Well, Coach, if you would, just go ahead and tell everyone out there a little bit about yourself.
Well, you guys know my name, obviously. I'm from Kingston, grew up in Kingston, played at Kingston. Went on to play at Tennessee Tech. Played football out there for 4 years. Came back home and, went to coaching under Coach Vic King. He gave me my first start, and, he was kind of my mentor. And I was at Kingston the whole time, and then Coach King, he resigned. And I had a couple of job offers, ended up going to Austin East as their head football coach for a little while. And then the job at Kingston came back open, and came back to Kingston, and here I am.
Okay. So you was at Austin East for 1 year?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And come back to Kingston?
I did.
Head coach.
And I had a great time at Austin East, man. They treated me real well up there. Really good people at the school and in the community. Couldn't ask for a better fan base as far as the way they treated me. Kingston's always been my dream job just because I played there, and it's where my family's at. So it was a great opportunity for me to go back to my old stomping grounds, and so it was good.
And what year did you graduate to Kingston?
1990.
1990.
Yeah, we had a few battles with Oak Ridge, and Jerry Colquitt was quarterback then, and of course Johnny Williams, and we used to come scrimmage all these guys. So I'm an old head, I guess you can call me.
Mike Caldwell.
Mike Caldwell was a year or two ahead of me, but I remember scrimmaging him, on that team. Of course, he great player for Oak Ridge, so had a few battles up here.
What position did you play?
I played defensive tackle and offensive tackle in high school, and I played a little defensive end at Tennessee Tech.
Okay. You mentioned your family. You married? Have any kids?
I've got a daughter. Of course she's married now, and she's a travel RN. So, and of course my family's from Kingston. Of course my mom and dad they've gone on. They passed away, but my brother and sisters, my nieces and nephews, they're all still in Kingston.
And what's your occupation at Kingston? You a teacher there?
Yes, sir. I'm the PE teacher at Kingston. Teach PE. Yeah. I'm not smart enough to do anything else, so I had to go into PE because I didn't make very good grades. So
well, it's pretty tough to get a degree in that physical education.
Well, it's not easy. You got to take some kinesiology classes and exercise phys. So I had really good classmates that sit beside me, so I benefited from that.
So what is your coaching style? I know you like to run that wing tee. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. We run it's shotgun wing tee, but it's really wing tee. We like to get downhill on people. I'm a big trap guy. We run trap a lot. We run power. We run some sweeps, but we just try to be physical. Because I think 90% of the times the most physical football team is going to win games, and usually the other team doesn't like. If you're being really physical, come fourth quarter they get tired of that. So it's not pretty. A lot of people don't agree with it, but that's just who I am. That's how we're built, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to get downhill and run the football at you. And if you can stop us, I'll tip my hat to you. And but if you don't, we're going to have 400 yards rushing.
Coach Vic King, you said a long-time coach. Did he run that type of offense?
He did. He was more of a split back type of guy, but the same attitude. When I played at Kingston, we would have 45 rushes a game and maybe throw it 3 times. So he was also a downhill, taught physicality, and I guess me being around him, both as a player and then playing up under him, just kind of rubbed off on me too. So that's what I'm used to.
Walter?
How many years have you been at Kingston as coach?
I came back to Kingston in 2013. That was my first year back. I was a position coach and a coordinator there, years before. Left for about 1.5 years, went to Austin East, and came back as a head coach in 2013.
And who are the teams to beat and the teams in your region?
Well, right now, Sweetwater Wildcats, who I think are the best football team we played this year. Coach Martin down there does a great job. Big, physical. They like to get downhill on you too. So in our region, I think Sweetwater is probably the best team in our region. And I guess with us and McMahon and Signal and Loudon, You know, we're trying to fall somewhere, trying to find our own way too. But right now, Sweetwater, man, they've got it going on right now. Got a good football team.
And are you primarily seniors or juniors, or how does your situation?
We're actually a good mixture. You know, I've got some linemen that are seniors. I think we have 2 defensive backs that are seniors. Pretty much our whole backfield, our quarterback, our fullback, our wings, they're all juniors, and we got a sophomore in there too. So we're a good mixture. I mean, we've got some seniors, but we got a lot of younger kids that are playing too. I mean, we started 3 freshmen last Friday.
Okay.
So you know, we've got a good mixture going on.
And feeder program, where do you get most of your ball players from?
We get most of ours from Cherokee. You know, Coach Sieber over there has done a great job. I think he's got about 50, 55 kids out.
Okay.
So yeah, man, he's done a great job, and it just benefits me. You know, the better the middle school program, it just benefits your high school program.
Better believe it.
And defensively, what type of defense does Yellow Jackets run?
We're pretty much a 4-3 type of defense. You know, Coach Jordan Jones, who when I was a position coach at Kingston, he played linebacker there, and he's my defensive coordinator. He came back, I think, 6 years ago to be on staff. Man, he does a great job, and he just gets better and better every year. But we're pretty much a 4-3. You know, we'll get in the 5-man front every now and then, but 4-3 is our base defense.
And you have a big game with McMinn Central Friday night, and I know right now I think they're undefeated in the region. Y'all have the 1 loss, so it's a big game to keep y'all in the hunt for the championship and a possible, you know, play at home in the playoffs.
It is it's a huge game, you know, and they're a much improved football team from last year. You know, they've done a great job down there with getting their numbers up and getting kids out. So, you know, Friday is going to be it'll be another tough game. I mean, we don't have many easy ones on our schedule, so Friday's another tough one. But it's also a game that we need to win. You know, we've got 1 region win. If we can win this one, then we get our foot in the door and take care of business and hopefully, you know, fight for a home playoff game. I don't too much like getting on the bus traveling 3 hours away. I kind of like playing in Kingston. So hopefully we can make that happen.
I know last year y'all hosted a game, a playoff game. I think it was the first time in about 20 years. I think I heard you say.
It was, you know, and it was a lot of excitement. You know, that bunch I had last year had a really good football team, great group of seniors. Was able to get a home playoff game, and you know they were excited. The school was excited. The community, just playing a football game at Kingston, man. It's you know, I'm not saying we're better than everybody else, but it's a really good atmosphere. You know, our band does a good job of you know, getting behind us and cranking it up, and our student section is one of the best in East Tennessee. So just a good atmosphere, and you know, if you ain't ever been to Dr. Nat Sugarman Field for a home game, you need to come down and visit it. It's a pretty good place to play.
Yeah, it's better to get there early and get a seat too.
Yeah.
I've been to a few games over the years. Seen Kevin Mays, saw him play down there, playoff game back in the day. And
oh yeah.
Seen the Dragons go down there and play back in the early '80s. Had a real exciting game. Back then, Walter probably called that game.
Yeah, I'd say that's exactly right.
Clinton at Kingston. Jimmy Hodge come out of the stands after the game. Tackled the referee, I heard, or something, so I don't know.
That was interesting.
I ain't heard about that.
Remember that game I think kicked the field goal there at the end. Clinton thought the time had run out and put some time back on the clock, and had a big kid there come out and kick that field goal. Who was that? Played on that early 81 team.
Probably Michael Collier.
Yeah.
What was our kicker? Yeah, that's probably Mike Collier. Yeah.
You've got a good memory that far back.
Yeah. Well, I think my brother, I had, you know, cousins and my brother played back then too, so I was always at the games. I know that's been a long time ago. I don't remember everything, but there's a few things I can remember.
Yeah, I know y'all had a real good team, and Clinton did as well that year. So Coach Ron Brown, he was coaching the Dragons back then. All righty, we're going to go ahead and take another break. We're going to come back and visit with these Yellow Jackets. So stick around. You're watching the Locker Room Chat.
Football is back. And OEB Law is excited for a season full of big hits, perfect plays, and those nail-biting near misses. If you've been injured, OEB Law will come to your defense and tackle any obstacles blocking you from scoring the full and fair settlement. Call OEB Law 865-546-1111 and turn your wreck into a check.
I choose Rome Medical Center because this is where my heart is. My family and friends use Rome Medical Center, and I want everyone that comes through our doors to have an experience that makes them as proud of Rome Medical Center as I am. I'm Nancy Easter, Manager of Materials at Rome Medical Center, and I'm so happy to work for an employer that values me and makes me feel appreciated.
Find out why Roan Medical Center is the best choice for your future in healthcare. Learn more at roanmedicalcenter.com.
We should never lose sight of our health. To keep moving forward, let's not forget everything we've learned. Limit the salty food options. Make your own daily exercise routine. And always receive regular checkups. More than anything, we have learned how important these small steps can make a big difference, so we can all continue to move forward together.
Earl Duff Pre-Owned Center in Harriman is East Tennessee's best choice for pre-owned vehicle sales and service. Earl Duff is a name you know and trust, and we have been meeting the automotive needs of Roan and surrounding counties for over 49 years. Shopping with us is easy, and we treat our customers like family. From sales to finance to service, we're your one-stop shop for everything automotive. Don't settle for less with your next pre-owned vehicle purchase. Come to Earl Duff Pre-Owned Center in Harriman or online at duffpreowned.com.
Roan Metals Group has been serving East Tennessee for decades. Locally owned and operated with convenient hours of operation. Roan Metals buys all types of scrap metal. Nothing's too big or too small. Still have that clunker sitting around? We've been buying them for years. Roan Metals Group are specialists in industrial scrap. We have what it takes to get any size job done. Roan Metals urges you to recycle responsibly. Scrap with only licensed dealers. A member of the TSRA and the ISRI. Roan Metals Group. Turn that scrap into cash.
Welcome back into the Locker Room Chat, and we're visiting with the head football coach of the Kingston Yellow Jackets, Brian Pankey. And Coach Pankey has brought in some of his student athletes, so let's turn our attention back to them. Mason Martin, Javaris Gallagher, and Brody Weaver. And guys, Mason, start with you. Are you a four-year letterman there at Kingston?
Yes, sir. I played all 4 years. You know, JV first couple years, but you know, I got my chance last year, and I've started every single game since junior year.
What position do you play normally? I know you say you play a lot of positions, but
normally I play wide receiver and cornerback. Yeah.
You have any pregame rituals?
I like to listen to music. You know, chew some gum, and just, you know, I pray a lot, so I mean that's my thing, so that's what I do.
What kind of music do you listen to?
Everybody knows this. I like Trippie Redd, you know, some rap. That's what I listen to.
I'm getting old, Coach. I don't know many of them musicians anymore, do you?
Oh, man.
Javaris, how about you? What's your pregame routine?
My pregame routine, usually before the game, I just don't talk to nobody, get locked in. You know, it helps me focusing on the game, and then like he said before every game starts, we usually go on the sideline and pray. That's usually what we do. Listen to music before the game starts.
Where does everybody go after a big win at Kingston?
After a big win at Kingston, win or loss, we all go to Taco Bell. It's actually a really good environment there. We get to bring speakers in the store and the restaurant and everything. So the workers love it. It's just Kingston's a good community to hang out in after a football game.
What position you playing?
I play safety and a receiver. Not mostly a receiver, but safety start the whole game. My first 2 years, I was grinding it out on JV, but for the past 2 years, I've been a two-way starter, basically.
You have any interceptions?
Right now, I have 5.
5, really? Wow.
Yeah, top 10 in the state.
Mm-hmm. Right, Brody, pick number 71, and what's your pregame rituals?
Well, we always eat before games. You know, that's a must.
Where do you eat at? You get a pregame meal, I guess, at the school?
On home games, we have pregame at our church, which we've been very appreciative of them because they've been able to provide us with food.
What church is that? Is that the
Grove?
Is that the church, right? Do y'all go to the actual church and eat?
Yes, sir.
Right there by the stadium? Okay. Any other rituals?
Well, I normally go over to his house and take a small nap. And then we just head back to the field and get locked in. I pray right before games. And then we just go at it.
You guys are pretty tight, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
Brody, what's it like playing for Coach Panky?
It's entertaining and fun. Having a coach to be able to, I guess, have fun with you as well as help you out getting better throughout the season.
Coach Panky, talk a little bit about Brody.
Well, I always say he's, if I figured out to get him mean, it's kind of like, I wish he'd be like Popeye and eat the spinach. And
yeah.
You know how Popeye did when he ate the spinach, I've been trying to get Brody to eat the spinach for a while, but I will say this about Brody, man. He's, character-wise, he's one of the best kids we've had, and he's also worked his butt off in the weight room in the off-season to be a starter for us, man. And I'm gonna tell you, knock on wood, I don't think he's had a bad snap from a shotgun standpoint all year long. He's done a great job for us. One of the smartest, maybe the smartest offensive lineman that we have. He makes all of our checks, our calls, when to block back, when to double team, when not to. So I can't say anything bad about Brody. He's done everything I've asked him to do for the last 4 years, and he does a great job for us, man. In the locker room and on the field, he's just a great kid.
Walter?
To each one of you guys, how long have y'all played football?
I started playing football when I was 5. I would have played at 4, but I was too scared, so I started at 5.
So very good background.
Yeah, I started in 6th grade, and 6th grade. I actually played at Lenore City first couple years of middle school, and then 7th grade year transferred over to Kingston, and then played football ever since.
Okay.
I started playing football in 6th grade. I played for the city, KOC, and then by 7th and 8th grade year, I went to the middle school to go play.
And do any of y'all play any other sports at the school or like any other sports?
My first 2 years of high school, I played basketball, but now since junior year, I do track and football.
Okay.
Yeah, I do track also. Do long jump and sprints. That's what I do.
I've played baseball since I was a freshman at the high school, and I played third, and I'm a pitcher.
Okay.
Javaris, so what would you say some of your strengths are on the football field?
Like I said, it's just after playing for so long, it kind of I don't want to say easy, but it comes natural to you. You start seeing the field a different way, and I like to say how I see the game, my vision, and I'm not the most smartest guy in the classroom, but I'm pretty smart on the football field. Not the most athletic, but it's good enough to handle other people.
What are some of the things you need to work on?
Just getting bigger and stronger. You know, the weight room never hurts. Probably and just trying to stay healthy.
Would you like to play at the next level?
Yes, of course. I always wanted to go play football since I was a little kid. Always. But if that doesn't plan out, I plan to just go into engineering.
Javaris, what's it like playing for Coach Pankey?
I don't think it gets better than Coach Pankey. You know, he starts off, you know, you think he's this big guy, 300 pounds, 6'4", 6'5". You know, you're intimidated, but once you get to know him, I think he's one of the funniest guys I know besides these guys. But basically what he said, you know, he always has a great time, but when it's time to get serious, he can get off in you.
Javaris Gallagher sounds like he's a great kid. Coach Pankey, talk a little bit about Javaris.
He is. He's a good kid, man. You know, our relationship has gotten. Of course, I usually coach linemen and defensive linemen at Kingston, so I'm not really around their defensive backs a whole lot. But this year, just being around Javaris more, man. You know, we've got a better relationship, and he's one of our. You know, he's definitely our most physical DB. He's one of the most physical guys on our team. You know, just come up, really a run stomper, but also great ball skills too. You know, he's got 5 picks for a reason. Just a good judgment of the ball, knows our coverages, knows where he always needs to be, and man, he's been a really good player for us. Not only this year, you know, he was our starting cornerback last year. Made a lot of plays last year. Made a great catch at Rockwood last year. So, you know, he's done a great job for us, really all 4 years, but especially the last 2 when he's been a starter for us.
Javaris, did you get any? You got a workout last week against Campbell County. I said they throwing it a lot, right? Did you get any picks last week?
Last week they unfortunately didn't throw my way. That was a game I was looking forward to all season. But like I said, stats come last when it comes to the team. I'm just happy we got the win.
We're at Mason. What's it like playing for Coach Pankey?
I'll say this: there's never a dull moment, and you know, it's exciting. You know, you mess up, just get ready for the next play because you know you never know what he's gonna say. He might yell at you, you know, but he's supportive, you know, and I love playing for Coach Pankey. Yep.
Have you caught any touchdowns this year?
I have not. I've caught some passes. You know, I've thrown a touchdown pass, ran a touchdown pass, but haven't caught any this year.
And what do you like about playing football?
I just like playing it. You know, growing up, you know, my favorite player was Cam Newton, so I always wanted to be a quarterback. But you know, my skills, it just works better for me at wide receiver and cornerback, and I just like playing it. You know, I just love football. I love the game.
You got any picks this year?
I do. Got one against Harriman. You know, probably the best team to get one against because we hate Harriman. But yeah.
All right, Coach Pankey. Mason sounds like he's keeps y'all loose. I bet. Sound like.
Well, I'll tell you about Mason, man. He's one of the hardest working kids we have. He may be the hardest working kid in the locker room. No complaints about that. And I'm gonna tell you something about Mason, man. You know, he is asked to do a lot. He's played cornerback. He plays receiver. He plays quarterback. He plays wingback. And like I told him, when you play quarterback for a team, it's always your fault. Whether it's your fault or not, it's your fault. And I'm probably his hardest critic. I've probably been on that kid more than I have anybody else this year because he's a perfectionist, and he hadn't learned when you mess up, it's okay. It's okay to mess up, but Mason tends to let stuff stay with him too long. If he screws up, he lets it go to the next play. And these last 2 weeks, man, he's done a really good job of just letting it go. And when he freelances, I say freelance, when he plays with an open mind and doesn't carry that burden with him, man, he's one of the best players we have on the team. And usually a great attitude. Again, he plays 4 positions. And we had a conversation on the way up here. He mentioned that, he didn't care if he played quarterback or wide receiver. He just wants to play. And he reminds me every Friday that he's open and to get him the ball. So yeah, man, Mason, man, all 3 of these guys are just great kids, man. And I wish I had a locker room full of them.
So he plays. He's one of your quarterbacks, right? Is that what you're saying?
He is. He is one of our quarterbacks. He is. Yeah. He is. Him and Rylan, they're both our quarterbacks, and we have a freshman in Blazer Boumier that's he's going to be a good football player too. He's just a freshman. But like I said, him and Rylan, man, they played quarterback all spring long, and both of them are just one play away from being a permanent quarterback. If Rylan goes down and can't play, then Mason's our guy, and then if Mason gets hurt, Rylan's going to be the guy. But I trust both of them. Both of them's done a great job. But Mason can do a lot of different things, and I think we shown that last week. We put him on their best receiver. He played pretty much man coverage on their best receiver. He played receiver. And obviously, we ran a lot of jet sweeps and stuff with him. I think he carried the ball at least 3 or 4 times last week and had some really good carries for us. So, he's kind of an all-purpose guy.
Walter?
How's your team health-wise?
We're pretty healthy. This time of year, we get some people banged up. You have a nagging shoulder injury or an ankle injury. So we've got some guys that are banged up, but I will say this about our guys, they play through it because there is no, you only have 10 games promised to you.
Oh, yeah.
And I tell them all the time, postseason is a bonus. So, there's 32 teams in the state that's going to get to play postseason in 3A, and that's our goal every year is to make the playoffs, because if you don't make the playoffs, then obviously you can't win a championship. So, that's our goal this year. That's our goal every year is to make the playoffs. And, sometimes you got to play through nicks and bumps and bruises to be able to do that. So, I think we've done that so far this year.
Do you have any players that go both ways?
We do. We do have some players go both ways. Javaris and Mason here, they both go both ways. Rylan Getner, our quarterback, he starts both ways. Kane Ladd, our really good fullback and linebacker, he also goes both ways. So I would say we've got at least 5, maybe 5 guys that probably go both ways full time.
Have you got pretty good depth for these guys when they want to take a breather on, say, defense, because going both ways?
Well, I will say this: we got some depth. It's just young.
Yeah.
Like I said last year, last week we started 5 DBs. And like I said, one of them was a freshman. Our linebackers, we had a freshman start linebacker last week. We had a freshman start defensive end. So we don't have guys that back these guys up that are as quality-wise as good as these guys because they're young. But like I said, Blazer Boumier, he's a freshman. If Mason goes down, I have no qualms about putting Blazer in. Now he's not as good as a football player as Mason is right now, but I trust him.
But you're building depth. That's what
I'm building depth, and we've played I think 3 or 4 JV games this year. So just trying to get those guys as many reps as I can.
Oh yeah.
We're Chatting with head football coach, Kingston Yellow Jackets, Brian Pankey. And the Yellow Jackets off to a 5-1 start. Have a big game Friday night at home against McMinn Central. And, just exciting time there at Kingston. Had that 8-4 last year, I believe, and host a playoff game, wanting to get back there. So Kingston, the football is rolling right now, ranked number 9 in the state, I believe, in Class AAA. So congratulations on that, Coach.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate that.
And let's go back to these guys. Guys, I'm going to ask y'all the same questions here. What's it like? We'll start down with Brody. What's it like wearing the colors there, that orange and navy blue? And what's some of the memories you're going to take away from playing for Kingston?
I love wearing the colors orange and blue. Being able to represent our community and being able to represent our football team, most importantly. Being able to wear those colors is amazing. And
probably just grew up wanting to play for Kingston, no doubt.
Yes, sir.
And what's your plans after graduation?
I plan on going to Roan State, and then after my 2 years there, I plan to transfer to Tennessee Tech to become a mechanical engineer.
That's great. Javaris, as well, what's it like putting on those colors and some of the memories you're going to take away from being a Kingston Yellow Jacket?
My opinion, it does not get better than Friday nights. You know, we love football, coming out and being able to have the privilege to come out on Friday and just play for what we do and play football and do what we do is love. Mm-hmm. So,
I guess you've been playing on that field a long time, have you?
Yeah, about going on 8 years now.
Mm-hmm. And what's your plans after graduation? You mentioned you want to go into engineering.
Yeah, of course. If football doesn't work out, I think it's good to have backup plans. Like I said, I'll probably go to TCAT, get my engineering degree, and then probably start working right out of high school.
And Mason, what's your plans after graduation?
I'll probably go to UT. Being an endocrinologist, that's my goal. And I might go run track somewhere. If football comes up, that'd be a great opportunity too. But God has a plan for me, and I don't doubt Him. Not 1 second. And He has a plan, and yeah.
How fast are you?
I'm pretty fast. I don't like to brag on myself a lot, but I just say I'm fast.
What do you run in track? You just run sprints, I guess?
Yeah, 100 meter and long jump.
What's your fastest time on the 100 meter?
Well, I want to say 10 seconds, but it's not 10 seconds yet.
Whoa.
It's 11 seconds right now, but
That's pretty good, ain't it, Coach? That's pretty fast.
Yeah, it's 11 seconds right now. Yeah.
And what's some of the memories you're going to take away from being a Kingston Yellow Jacket?
Wearing orange and blue is, it's a great feeling, but when you walk out that field house and you see all those little kids want to give you high fives and, just say good job, that's what it's all about right there.
You mentioned earlier that you transferred. Was that when you was younger?
Yeah, I was in middle school.
Where were you in middle school at?
Lenore City.
Oh, Lenore City. So you grow up in Lenore City? Or?
Yes, sir. I grew up in Lenore City. I love that place, but Kingston's better. Yeah.
Okay. Walter?
I'm going to ask an unusual question. Do you like it better in the fall when you first start and it's super hot, or like it when it gets to this point when it's getting a little bit more tranquil out there?
In the summer, I cramp up a lot. I don't like cramping up, and I hate the cold too. So if I had to pick one, it would probably be the warm weather, but because I just can't stand being cold. And it sucks being hit when it's cold. Yeah.
I can understand that.
Yes, sir.
And next fella.
I probably have to say I like the cold more because, like he said, people don't like to get hit when it's cold. It stays with you longer, but I'm a physical player. I like to go hit. But when it's hot, you can't control the sweating, but when it's cold, you got hand warmers, long sleeves. I like it cold.
I think I agree with Javaris. I like the cold as well because whenever you're in the summer, obviously playing football, you're going to sweat. But whenever humidity adds on to it and you are drenched, it's a lot different from in fall/winter whenever you're playing, where obviously, yes, you're going to sweat, but that sweat, you'll keep yourself warm. And it's just, I like the fall more.
And who is your all's biggest rival?
Probably Rockwood or Harriman.
Oh, okay.
Just because, I mean, for years, they've always been it.
You're right next to both of them, so.
Yes, sir.
Is that the same way with you two guys?
Well, I think our biggest rival is county games, mostly just Harriman and Rockwood. You know, originally coming from Harriman through basically Pee Wee football and then moving to Kingston in middle school, I personally like playing Harriman more, you know, just old team. I know everybody over there. It don't get better than playing one of your county games and beating the snot out of them.
For me, you know, it's a little bit different. I don't like Loudon. You know, last year they beat us at our home field. You know, it left a bad taste in my mouth. And you know, this year we're playing them. I think October 28th. I mean that's a big circle on my calendar right there. You know, I want to get back out there and hopefully beat them. You know.
Hey Chandler, could you throw up those region standings? Kingston's region. Real quick here and look at this standings here, Coach. Here we go. Sweetwater, McMinn Central on top. You know, y'all lost to Sweetwater there earlier in the year. McMinn Central undefeated. Then you got you guys and Loudon. And, I know Loudon's been tough really the last few years. And you got Brainerd and Signal Mountain. So you got y'all defeated Brainerd, right?
Yes, sir, we did. Yes, sir.
So Signal Mountain left and Loudon and McMinn Central. So it's a pretty good region right there. I know they went to a new region set up there last year. So I think it's a pretty good region.
It is. You know, last several years we've been up there with it was us and Alcoa, Gatlinburg Pittman, Austin East, Pigeon Forge, and Northview Academy, which at that time, you know, and I still, you know, it's the toughest region in the state in 3A, in my opinion. You know, Austin East was rolling. Alcoa obviously rolls all the time, and Gatlinburg Pittman, we've had some good battles with them too over the last several years. So real tough region. You know, we got moved to this region, which it didn't matter to me what region we play in. You know, we're going to go try to compete no matter where we're at. But now this is a tough region too, man. Like I said, Loudon, Coach Herrick's done a great job over there. They've been really tough the last few years. And again, McMinn Central's gotten better, and you know, Sweetwater's they're good in everything right now. You know, basketball, baseball. They've got it rolling right now. Sweetwater does, man. Again, Coach Martin, he's done a great job. And then, you know, we try to do a good job at Kingston. We try to put our kids in a, you know, where we can compete. And, you know, I tell them all the time, you know, if we go out and compete and do what we're supposed to do, then usually you're gonna win games. So, you know, and I feel like we do that most of the time. So, you know, we try to be competitive, and we try to win them all. But you know, you getting
tough to do.
Yeah, well,
you're in,
you know,
you're out. I mean,
in high school football, you probably, you know, overall record, you're probably gonna lose more games than you win. I know that sounds bad, but you know, unless you're a perennial powerhouse, you know, it's tough to win games, man. So I tell these kids all the time, when you win, you better celebrate, because you never know when your next one's coming. So we treat every win like it's a championship game, and because you know, you work your butt off all week to get there, and when you win, you better celebrate it, because again, you never know when the next one's coming.
That's right. You got enjoy every Friday night.
That's right. That's right.
Well, guys, we're going to go to some speed round questions for you here real quick. So see what you got here. We'll start out with you, Mason. Your favorite team and favorite player?
For what sport? Football?
Football, yeah.
He doesn't play right now, but Carolina Panthers, Cam Newton.
And your favorite team?
Carolina Panthers.
What about in college?
UT.
Go Vols. Right?
Yes, sir.
How'd you like that win over Florida?
I loved it. Last couple minutes kind of scared me, but, our boys pulled through with that interception, and we beat Florida. Yep.
That's right. Javaris?
My favorite NFL team is probably the Seattle Seahawks. My favorite player who I've looked up to is probably Deion Sanders. College, I'm not really into it, but I guess since I live here, probably UT.
Brody?
I think college-wise, UT would definitely be one of my favorites. Hendon Hooker, he's a great character on and off the field. He's one of those athletes that you could really look up to, and just having him on and off, you could see him during after game interviews, and he's just a very humble person, and I strive to be like that. I strive to be as humble as I can during and after games. It's just.
Who would you like to meet? Anybody out there you'd like to meet?
I'd like to meet Peyton Manning. He's been one of my role models since I was probably 7 or 8.
Javaris?
Probably Coach Pankey's probably his favorite defensive player is probably Ed Reed. Just the way he sees the field and how he just goes about himself. I really look up to that.
Nice.
Michael Jordan, for obvious reasons. He's a GOAT. I just like to sit down and talk to him. Yeah.
What's the famous person you ever met? You ever met anybody famous?
A baseball player, pitcher for the Texas Rangers. His name's Brett Martin. I have a pretty good relationship with him. So, yeah.
Lars?
Most famous guy I've ever met, and I have a picture with him, is Russell Westbrook for when he was on the Oklahoma City Thunder.
I guess one of the most famous people I've ever met was Kenny Chesney, and he's a close friend to my family. We've had people, work very closely to him, friends with him, and yeah.
Brody, what's the best place you've ever visited, like a family vacation or?
We go to Marco Island every Christmas break. Just go enjoy ourselves.
Where's that at?
It's down near, close to the tip of Florida.
Probably wouldn't want to be down there right now, would you?
Not right now.
No. About you, Javaris?
Probably favorite location I've been is probably Myrtle Beach. I like getting my tan on, laying out in the sun.
Go. Mason?
I would have to say New Smyrna Beach. There's not a lot of things down there. It's just a chill, relaxed time. I love it. It's not real busy. So it has a lot of sharks, but the risk you take.
Mason, what's your favorite food?
I don't really know. I have to say a good Reese cup. That's kind of weird for me to say because I'm a diabetic, but when I can have a Reese cup, that's probably the best thing.
Javaris?
My favorite food is probably chicken. Just since my childhood, I grew up on it. So.
Well, we just got back from eating And I actually just had one of my favorite meals, steak and mac and cheese.
Okay. Where's your favorite place to eat at? Favorite restaurant?
I'd say probably Gondolier.
Javaris?
Everybody knows this. I love me some good old Taco Bell.
Taco Bell, Friday night.
You know, Coach Panky, he doesn't agree with me, but my favorite place to eat is Panda Express. The orange chicken is just amazing. I love it.
What was your favorite toy as a child?
I always carried this little pig around for years, probably up until I was 10. But you know, his name was Hammy, and you know, Christmas one year I actually got a real pig and a little potbelly pig. So
what was his name?
His name was Hammy too.
Okay.
Hammy and Hammy.
All
right. My favorite toys were little army men and G.I. Joe action figures. I love to act like I was in the battle.
My favorite toys growing up, I guess I could say either a baseball or football, because going outside and just throwing one around, whether it was a football or a baseball, I mean, it would always be either with my family or friends. So.
You have a nickname?
These guys call me BT.
BT, okay.
I usually go by Jarvis, just another way to say my name since most people really can't say it, so it's just an easier way.
I have a couple, you know, from the past years. You know, some people call me Debbie. You know, some people call me Hollywood.
Call you what?
Debbie.
Debbie?
They call me Diabetic Debbie.
Oh.
That's just a nickname I had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. You have any hidden talents? Can you sing or dance?
I mean, I like to say I'm a good singer. You know, always every single night I sing in the shower. So I would like to say that. Yeah.
My hidden talent is a backflip.
You do it on the field, Andy?
I'll do it right now.
Andy? Do this one there.
He's got a hurt thigh. He can't do it. No, I'm serious. Don't do it.
We're not doing it. No. You got to have you Friday night.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I guess my hidden talent, if it even counts, I can flip my eyelids.
Go ahead and do that. You do that, Coach?
Ready for Halloween for sure.
No, I can't do that.
And anything you're afraid of, Brody? Any phobias?
I hate snakes and spiders.
Everybody always hates snakes and spiders. What about you, Javaris?
I'm not scared of nothing.
There you
go. It's gonna be weird, but I don't like mice. They scare me. It's just if I see a mouse, I'm gonna run the opposite direction. I hate mice.
They sort of creep you out, don't they?
Yeah, mice and rats. Yep.
Now, Walter, anything you want to?
What are your favorite hobbies other than football?
There you go.
I like to read my Bible a lot and fish. I like to fish too.
I probably like napping or just watching TV. Not really doing much stuff outside of school.
I think one of my favorite hobbies is either just hanging out with friends, whether that's going out on the lake, just going fishing, or just whatever it is, just hanging out with friends.
Okay.
Well, guys, I really appreciate y'all being here tonight. I want to wish you the best of luck Friday night and the rest of the season. And before you go, I want you all to go ahead and give a shout out.
I guess I think my family, mom, dad, brother and sister, and then all my friends.
Give a shout out to my mom. I've made it on TV. And probably my water boy, Sam Long.
My little brother Memphis, and of my defensive coordinators, Coach Jones, he told me to shout him out, so there you go. And Coach Plemons.
All right. Guys, really appreciate y'all being on the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
Coach Panky, really appreciate you being here too. I think it's the first time I know I've had you on. You said you was been on maybe with Ron Berry.
Yeah, I think it's been a long time ago.
Yeah,
it's been a long time ago. I appreciate you guys having us up. Showing some love for the Roane County team. I know these guys appreciate it, and just thank you guys for having us.
We always love to have Kingston on, and when you wasn't here on time tonight, I was thinking back to last year. I said, "Oh no!" So where's he at?
Well, like I said, our escort, our driver, wasn't too good.
Which one was driving?
That'd be number 10.
The quarterback.
Well, he's not real good at multitasking. He's actually trying to talk to his mom and look at directions. And I was like, hey, you're going to have to do one or the other. Either, pull over, talk to your mom, or hang up and look at directions. So anyway, he got us here safe and sound. So I appreciate Mason being the driver tonight.
I think I'm a pretty good driver, but a lot of people say I'm not, so I might not be.
Have you ever had any wrecks?
Yes,
Oh no!
I backed into my brother's parked car, so.
Oh my goodness.
I got a ticket last Friday night after the game.
Oh Lord!
Speeding?
Yeah, I was speeding. I said I was speeding. I was not speeding.
Yeah.
All right. You got something to say, Jabbar?
I guess just one last shout out to Kurt and Katina Ramsey. That's it.
Last one. I like to shout out our community, whether that's our churches, fans, students, teachers, whatever it is. Our community showed out this year, and that's really helped us as a team. Having fans come out and watch us and really just come support us.
It was a homecoming last Friday, right?
Yes, sir. And it's senior night this week.
Senior night. Wow. Okay, Coach, anything you'd like to say before you go?
No, I just want to thank you guys again for having us out. And let the Kingston fans know, just show up and show out Friday night. We need all the support we can get. Big game Friday. It's our most important game of the year so far. So, just show up and show out and support these kids is what it's all about. Just win or lose, just support these guys, man. These guys work hard, and just show up and support them.
Okay. Walter, any?
Coach, best of luck Friday night and the rest of the year.
Thank you. We need it. We're gonna need all the luck and all the luck we can get. We got a tough road ahead of us. Our next 4 games are, you got McMahon, Signal, Stone Memorial's having a great year. I think they're undefeated, and that's a tough matchup for us. Big 4A team, and of course we got Loudon next. So, we're just it's a tough road ahead, but we gotta be prepared and meet it head on.
Coach, once again, thanks for coming in. I echo what Walter said. Good luck the rest of the year, and see you in the playoffs, and good luck Friday night. So,
thank you. Appreciate it.
So, all right, we'll be right back. We'll go ahead and take a look at some games coming up this week, so stick around. You're watching the Locker Room Chat.
Football is back, and OAB Law is excited for a season full of big hits and those nail-biting near misses. If you've been injured, OAB Law will come to your defense. Call OAB Law and turn your wreck into a check.
I'm Amanda, one of the RN shift leaders at Roane Medical Center. I love the sense of community that we have here. It's unlike anything I've ever experienced, and that's why I choose Roane Medical Center.
I choose Roane Medical Center because this is where my heart is. My family and friends use Roane Medical Center, and I want everyone that comes through our doors to have an experience that makes them as proud of Roane Medical Center as I am.
Find out why Roane Medical Center is the best choice for your future in healthcare. Learn more at RoaneMedicalCenter.com.
There's a lot of talk about the risks associated with the COVID-19 vaccine, but the reality is it's safer than being tackled by a Tennessee Titan. Give it a shot. Find a free vaccine appointment today at covid19.tn.gov.
Earl Duff Pre-Owned Center in Harriman is East Tennessee's best choice for pre-owned vehicle sales and service. Earl Duff is a name you know and trust, and we have been meeting the automotive needs of Roane and surrounding counties for over 49 years. Shopping with us is easy, and we treat our customers like family. From sales to finance to service, we're your one-stop shop for everything automotive. Don't settle for less with your next pre-owned vehicle purchase. Come to Earl Duff Pre-Owned Center in Harriman or online at duffpreowned.com.
We treat you like family at RMG. Bring your junk, cars, aluminum cans. We buy it on the spot and we pay you a lot. We treat you like family at RMG. Yeah, we treat you like family at RMG. We treat you like family.
Rome Metals is located just off of Highway 27 between Harriman and Rockwood.
Football is back, and OAB Law is excited for a season full of big hits and those nail-biting near misses. If you've been injured, OAB Law will come to your defense. Call OAB Law and turn your wreck into a check.
Welcome back into the locker room chat, and we enjoyed having the Kingston Yellow Jackets in studio, and those young men, Coach Panky did. It was good chatting with them.
They're very nice folks. Coach Panky is a very nice fella, and so are all the kids.
Yeah, I was glad to get him on the show. He's always just called in before, but he was able to come in. That was a treat to have a big Coach Panky on. So, but Brad just told us Aaron Judge hit his number 61.
Well, I tell you what, that is something else.
I was beginning to worry there. He's going to get it.
Tied Roger Maris, but I guess
Yeah.
he's got a ways to go on the others. But
Yeah, I'd say he'll go in. He'll probably end up around 70 now after you get that one off the back.
boy, wouldn't that be something?
And you mentioned Pujols hit number 700.
Yeah, I was glad to hear that. 700 club, there's only 3 in that club. One of them I don't want to mention because I don't like him, but Aaron and Pujols are something else.
I agree with you on that, so he'll remain nameless. We got about 7 minutes left in the show, and we'll go ahead and make our picks for this week and predictions. And Walter, I got an 8-game lead on you.
Yeah, I know. This last week you were 18-2. I can't compete with that. I don't know if I should just go home and forget it. But
I don't know what I had to eat last week when I made my picks.
You had extra Wheaties or had something extra brain power. I don't know what in the world.
I had one of those weeks, and the 4 games we had different.
That was something, I tell you. I mean, I still didn't do that bad, and yet you just stomped me is the word.
So right now we're going to start out. We got 20 games to pick here, and our first game is Bradley Central. We're 5-0 at Bearden, 4-2, and this is a big game in 6A.
Well, I'm going back and forth on this. I don't know for sure to bet against Bearden or not, but I'm going to say Bradley Central, but I honestly don't know on this.
Yeah, I'm going to give you a chance to catch up. I'm going to go with the Bulldogs at home. Big win over Fulton last week, and I think they can get the Bears. So
I think it'll be a very good one.
Rivalry Thursday game tomorrow night. Clinton 4-2 at Campbell County 3-3. This is pretty much a must-win for both teams if they want to make the playoffs.
Yes, it certainly is. I'm going with Clinton.
Campbell County won last year 14-6, but I like the Dragons to to win tomorrow night at Campbell County. And shout out to Joshua Keith last week. He accounted for 5 touchdowns, 4 touchdown passes, 3 to Lucas Kendall, and also Joshua ran one in. So he's coming into his own this year.
They had a real good win, 51 points against a team that highly improved from the previous year.
Right, 51-21 over Chat Central, a team that beat Campbell County. So but we'll see. It'll be a tough game up there at Campbell County. Seems like it always is close.
Oh, yes.
But Midway at Coalfield. Midway 1-4. Coalfield 5-1 suffered their first loss last week, but I picked them to bounce back.
Yes, I definitely do too.
Oliver Springs 2-4 at Harriman 2-4.
I am amazed. Oliver Springs, which we had them on last week, I mean, they're doing quite well. I picked them to beat Harriman. They're on a roll, and I think they're going to start really surprising some folks the rest of the way.
Right, big win last week for Oliver Springs over Oakdale, and I'm going to take Oliver Springs to beat Harriman as well. Harriman won last year 14-6, but that's a big game in that region.
It certainly is.
McMinn Central and Kingston have the Yellow Jackets this in here. Yellow Jackets won last year 41-14. Give me the Yellow Jackets at home.
Give me the Yellow Jackets also.
Anderson County 6-0, ranked number 2 in the state. At Carter 3-3, the Hornets have won 3 in a row.
Yes, and I pick Anderson County, but it may be closer than expected. Anderson County's had to come from behind 2 straight weeks.
Yeah, AC, great comeback last week against Elizabethton, won in overtime, 35-34. They've had, as you mentioned, a couple of games like that where they've come from behind. I'm sure Coach Gillum would rather not do that, but he said in the paper it showed a lot of heart in his team for coming back. So the Mavericks won last year over Carter, 48-14. Give me Anderson County.
Yes.
Chandler said we got 2 minutes, so we'll have to go quick here. Oak Ridge at Powell, OEB Law game of the week. Give me Powell.
Actually, I have one way, but I really mean the other. Powell in this one. But there again, it'll probably be the other way just because.
Oneida at Rockwood, pair of 3-3 teams.
Rockwood.
I'll take Rockwood. Oakdale 4-2 at Sunbright. I'm going with the upset here. Give me the Sunbright Tigers.
I'm going to say Oakdale. I don't, although Oakdale's going downhill, Sunbright I don't think is quite that far up the hill.
York and Wartburg. Give me the York Dragons.
The York Dragons as well.
Stone Memorial undefeated and ranked in Class 4A at Cumberland County. Give me Stone Memorial.
This is the easiest one to pick, Stone Memorial.
Playing the old Crossville Jets. Daniel Boone at CAK. Trailblazers 5-0 undefeated, ranked in Class 5A. I like Daniel Boone on the road.
Yes, Daniel Boone for sure.
Hardin Valley at Farragut.
Farragut.
The Hawks looking for their first win, but I like the Admirals at home.
Definitely.
DB at Jeff County. Give me Dobbins Bennett.
Yes, Dobbins Bennett as well.
Sevier County at Halls.
Sevier County.
Sevier County. Fulton South Doyle. I'll have Fulton.
I'll have South Doyle.
Loudon at Brainerd. Give me the Redskins.
Redskins as well.
Pigeon Forge at Northview Academy.
Pigeon Forge.
Pigeon Forge. Maryville at Cleveland. Give me Maryville.
Maryville.
Heritage and West. Give me West.
West, definitely.
See you next week in the locker room chat. Thanks for Kingston Yellow Jackets coming in. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.